When you reach the end of the Brawl Pass, you don't just get one star drop after some XP anymore. Instead, you might get one sushi roll for free, or choose to get a boombox instead with 29 gems. Or you might be presented with this choice, or this, or this, or this, or this. So is there any situation here where it's actually worth spending gems to upgrade? Well, that's what I'm here for. Before we break down the math, let me explain how these tail rewards work. So after you finish the 60 tiers of Brawl Pass, you will get a random reward every 2800 XP, instead of 1600 XP before the update. Because you aren't getting star drops anymore, instead you will get one of these rewards. And next to it is the percentage chance of getting that reward. So the chance is definitely not evenly split. But as I said, for every free reward that you get, you're also given a choice to spend gems to upgrade that to a quote-unquote better reward. To be clear, by upgrading, you will not get the free reward, only the reward that's displayed on the right. The cool thing is that there's only 12 scenarios you could be given. It's not like the choice you're given is completely random. So we just need to work through all 12 of these scenarios to figure out whether each of them is worth upgrading. So it's just gonna be like the Hunger Games of Brawl Pass Valley. We're just gonna kill them off one by one. So let's start by eliminating these 4 offers. You guys are out! Because these are all offers where you get a gacha and you upgrade for a different gacha. Or more gacha in the case of the Chaos Drop. That's just too much uncertainty on what you're gonna get. Yes, I can calculate the average value of each of these loot boxes. In fact, I have done that for most of them, but it's going to be wildly inaccurate because a sample size of 1 is tiny. You might get a legendary skin or you might get nothing. And just to be clear, when something is eliminated, that means you definitely shouldn't upgrade that reward in any circumstance. But you might say, how about the offers with resources for free and a loot box as the upgrade? You still won't know what you're getting. Which is true. The reason they're not eliminated is, what if you don't need that free resource at all? I'm sure for a lot of you, 75 credit going towards fame might as well be nothing. And I'm sure some of you are overflowing with coins, and power points might be useless. Wait. No way that's true for anyone. Okay, let's start with coins. If you need coins, this doesn't apply to you at all. Don't upgrade these offers. But if you don't need coins, we just need to calculate if 1 mega box is worth 29 gems. So according to the official drop rates, this is the average value of 1 mega box. But like we mentioned, this section only applies to you if you don't care about coins, so we can just forget about the coin value. So if we convert this to gem value, so the value is 83 gems for now. Because first, we gotta exclude the value of pins and icons. And now the value is 56 gems, which is still almost double the price that we get. But this needs more context. The gem value of power points is based on this coin offer, because this is the best coin offer that you can get consistently any day. And I applied the same conversion rate for power points because of the new 1-to-1 conversion between coins and power points. And for credits and bling, I haven't applied fallback yet. So for example, if you have every brawler, the gem value of credits actually goes down to 15 gems, all going towards fame, obviously. And skins in mega boxes are also limited to a small pool. You can play around with these fallback yourself. I'll leave a link to all these spreadsheets below, but my advice is that you should only upgrade your reward if 1. You don't care about your coins, obviously. 2. You're willing to spend gems on both skin and credits. 3. You don't mind what skin you get. You're happy with any skin from that skin pool. And 4. You're a big spender. You're not the type of guy who will wait for weeks for a big discount. So you are not eliminated just yet, because there is still a section of the player base that might benefit from this offer. You know what? I can't even be bothered to do the ones with the PowerPoints. The fact that we have a 28,000 PowerPoint hole every update because of buffies. For more info, you can check out my buffies video. But yeah, there's just no way someone doesn't need power points. Even the whales need power points at this point. So yeah, these two are out. So the final resource that you can get is credits. So again, if you care about credits, this doesn't apply to you. Don't upgrade the offer. But if credits mean nothing to you, let's figure out if a boombox is worth 29 gems. I already made a dedicated video on the value of one boombox, so I'll save you the time and just show you the gem value table of a boombox. Like last time, let's turn off pin sprays and avatars, and now the value is 69 gems, which is still far better than 29 gems. So for coins, there's 2 checkboxes depending on whether you value gadgets and star powers, but it doesn't really matter because you can see that the vast majority of the value comes from skins. Look at how I turn skins off and the value just plummets. So if you don't care about skins, do not upgrade your credits. But even if you do, I think the chance of getting a skin is just too little to justify buying this. So I think we have to eliminate this offer. I can't think of any situation where it might be worth it to get this. The other credit offer is either 75 credits or a mythic star drop for 19 gems. So based on this beautiful star drop spreadsheet, here is the gem offer for one mythic drop. Like before, let's get rid of pin sprays and icons, and it's actually already really close to 19 gems. The gadget actually contributes a lot to the coin value of a mythic drop, so if we don't want to consider that, the value is already below 19 gems. And you can also only get rare and super rare skins from mythic drops, so if you don't care about those rarities, now the value is literally in the single digits. So yeah, let's eliminate this one as well. And now, the only contestants standing are the ones with vault keys. Let's start with the 2 simpler ones, the ones with a loot box for free, like a mecha box or a brawler key for 79 gems. So for these ones, we're going to assume that a mecha box gives you no value, because unless you want anything and everything, there is no guarantee that you will get something of value out of this. However, if you want credits, the brawler key is guaranteed value. Now, if you don't want credits, you don't need me telling you to not upgrade. But if you do, is a brawler key worth 79 gems? Well, one brawler key gets you one epic brawler, and if you buy it from the brawler collection page, one epic brawler costs 169 gems, which is obviously much more than the 79 gems here. The conversion rate is really similar to other brawler rarities, so this would apply for all rarities, don't worry. The most discounted I've seen for credits is when a specific brawler is 50% off in the shop, so that would bring the gem cost down to 85 gems, which is still more than the 79 gems here. And you don't have the choice to choose what brawler you get when it's half off. So honestly, if you care about brawlers, this is probably the best deal you can get. But keep in mind, this offer only has a 1.79% chance of showing up, and it's the only way you can get a brawler key as a free-to-play player. So if you don't buy the Brawl Pass, you probably can't save enough brawler keys to get a legendary or ultra brawler. Now, spending the key on an epic brawler is only like a tiny bit worse in terms of value, but it just means that if you already unlocked every epic brawler, you need to wait a while until a new epic brawler releases to use that brawler key. And now we need to talk about resource keys. Would you rather take one boombox for free or spend 79 gems on a resource key? Like last time, we're gonna assume that a boombox has no value. Even more so this time, because no matter what resource you need, the resource key can provide you value. It's almost like an anti-gacha. So the question is, would you pay 79 gems for 2,000 coins or 2,000 power points or 5,000 bling? The easiest one to answer is 5,000 bling. That's basically one epic skin, which is 149 gems. However, you do see discounts for skins quite a bit. Sometimes epic skins are discounted to exactly 79 gems, but sometimes even more, to 74 or even 39 gems. But of course, this loses the ability for you to choose whatever skin you want. So if there are specific skins that you want with bling, and you're willing to spend gems on skins, then yeah, I think you should totally upgrade here. Sometimes you do see gem to bling offers, but they're usually only slightly discounted compared to this pretty big discount. But if you're the type of guy who hunts for the biggest skin discounts, then this probably isn't worth it. This doesn't come close to the value of 39 gems for an epic skin, even if you take into account bling discounts. Okay, but what about progression, coins, and power points? I'm gonna do coins first just because I want you guys to wait. You might say you can literally get a hypercharge for the same price for 79 gems, and that is worth 5,000 coins. Clearly, that is a much better deal. Now, you would be right if you're still missing quite a few hypercharges, but if you already have every hypercharge leading up to a new hypercharge like GG, or maybe you're missing one or two, that is actually not true because of a funny thing called fallback. If you buy the new hypercharge with 79 gems, that means once again you would have every hypercharge in the game. That means if you hit the chance of a hypercharge in a loot box, or maybe a free hypercharge drop in a community event, etc., you would get 1,000 coins as fallback. You would have gotten that new hypercharge if you didn't buy it. But because you did, now you just lost 4,000 coins in value. So actually, you're kind of spending 79 gems for 1,000 coins instead of 5,000 coins, which is only half as good as the resource key here, which gets you 2,000 coins for the same price. And even beyond the topic of this video, this is why I don't get hypercharge offers anymore. This is why you should make sure to have at least a few of your brawlers to not have hypercharges. Ideally, the brawlers that you rarely play, so this guarantees when you randomly get a hypercharge is not getting wasted towards fallback. Now, if you urgently want to play with a brawler competitively, like maybe because the hypercharge is super OP, then you kinda have to buy the offer, right? But if that's not the case, then this resource key for 79 gems suddenly became one of the best offers in the game. And this is even more true if you choose power points, since there's not really a consistent power point offer that is discounted to a price nearly as good as this. If you are super stingy with gems, or in other words, if you're free to play, there are technically better deals than this. For example, you apparently get this brawler fuel offer after you unlock a new brawler, and that gets you 31 coins or power points per gem, whereas the resource key gets you 25 coins or power points per gem. So that would be a bit better, but based on what I've seen so far, this is the second best deal you can buy. And this easily beats out the Buffy's offer here. If you assume 1-to-1 conversion between coins and power points, the Gadget Buffy, which is the best deal, only gets you 20 coins or power points per gem. Now, a lot of what I said actually also applies to this other situation. If you have a surplus of coins, then what I said for power points and bling, all that advice is exactly the same here. Get the bling if you're used to spending gems on skins and you're not bargain hunting. Get the power points if you're not super stingy with gems. But coins is a little bit different here, because obviously you can just choose the 500 coins for free. So it's almost like buying 1,500 extra coins for 79 gems. This means that you're getting 19 coins per gem here, which is slightly less than getting a Buffy with gems. So I think you should just take the 500 coins if you're gonna pick 2,000 coins for the resource key anyway. And that is all 12 situations. So there are 8 offers I would absolutely stay away from. I would take this offer if you meet the specific criteria. I would take the brawler key if you're willing to spend gems on brawlers anyway. And for the resource key, I just talked about them. But of course, that only applies if you're not using code Shiu. If you are using code Shiu to buy gems, then I think all of these offers are like 100% worth upgrading. But of course, I truly appreciate all of you guys for using code Shiu. I'll talk a lot more about that in the next video. So this means there is only a 19.66% chance where you even need to consider upgrading, and only a 3.58% chance that upgrading is actually not a bad decision for most players. And of course, those are the ones with resource keys. And that is the end of this month-long run of covering basically every aspect of the new update. I got one more video up my sleeve. it's going to be a lot more personal. And like I said, Code Shiu is going to be a big part of that. And it should give some nice closure for the year, even though it's like a week late. But in the meantime, here is one of the videos about the new update. This one is about whether Supercell secretly nerfed the new Brawl Pass.